The movie begins with a white truck arriving at a lab facility called Silogen Research Center, located 15 miles outside Prairie, Idaho. Inside the laboratory, there is a dome where an insect population thrives around the cornfield. The purpose of the dome and insects is to run a test on a genetically modified strain of locusts developed by two researchers, Gary Wolf and Russ Snow. These locusts have been designed to eat the crop-damaging insects without harming the plant. They plan to sell these modified locusts to the farmers once their experiment succeeds. In the next scene, the locusts are set loose in a dome for a minute before luring them back to their holding pen using a strong pheromone and getting those locusts focused on their thirst. Following this, the researchers scan the cornfield and find out that all the pests have been destroyed while no damage is done to the plants. The results make the team overjoyed and they celebrate, believing that their experiment has finally become successful. However, their happiness is short-lived when they notice that the Greg then suggests that they put livestock in the middle of a field to lure them in and use UD66. However, Colt keeps on warning them about the irreversible consequence of spraying the pesticide, forcing Greg to decide on using a lower dose of the military pesticide called UD45. Afterwards, Greg, Vicky, and the military force prepare for their operation, while Colt continues to examine the previously taken sample of larvae in order to figure out why the locusts didn't attack him and Vicky during the earlier confrontation. Not long after, he learns that the pesticides are not only ineffective on the locusts, but it also attracts them, making them even stronger. Realizing that his girlfriend and his team are in danger, Colt rushes towards the field where the military helicopter is about to release UD45 on the locusts. Along the way, he calls his girlfriend and alerts her about the discovery. Vicky then immediately relays this information to Greg, but it's too late, as the helicopter has already released the chemical. As a consequence, the locusts attack the helicopter and pierce through the bodies of the pilots, ultimately causing it to crash and explode. After this incident, the President of the United States dispatches the National Military Guards to Idaho. The residents are also evacuated to other states for safety. Amidst this, the locust swarm shows up, so the military launches an attack on them with deadly weapons. Moreover, the insects prove to be much more powerful, and they overpower the armed force in just minutes. Greg then decides to use UD66 as their final approach, but Colt interjects with a crucial insight. The locusts refrain from attacking him and Vicky earlier because they both consume only organic food. He also believes that the locusts have an aversion to organic substances and a preference for chemical-laden ones. He asks Greg to trust him, assuring that he knows what to do. Seemingly convinced, Greg says he'll hold off the helicopters till he hears back from him. Following this, Colt heads to an airfield where he loads his organic pesticide in a dust cooper. Once done, he flies the plane and sprays the pesticide across the town, instantly killing the locusts. Believing that the threat is completely neutralized, Colt screams in joy, while Greg calls off the military helicopters. However, their assumption turns out to be wrong, as two larger swarms appear over the city. Now that they have no more organic pesticides, they decide to head to the Silogen lab, intending to seek help from Russ. Minutes before they arrive there, Gary flees the place to avoid the responsibility for the damage caused by the experiment. But as he drives through the highway, a swarm of locusts pierces through his car and body, resulting in his demise. There is justice after all. Elsewhere, the group arrives at the lab and they ask Russ for a solution. The latter has realized his mistake, so he agrees to help them. He suggests that they should attract the locusts in the dome